Surveys show that Thai parents believe that for their children to survive in the more competitive world and become successful, they must try to strive for an overseas education for their child.
I think in terms of parents always around may not give that much opportunity. As you know, as a mother, we try to suggest, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Maybe that's not always. Give him opportunity much to learn, to grow, and to survive. Main reason would be that he can be independent from parents. Once he has no one there, I think he would try hard to survive, and that may build confidence for a little boy to grow up to be a gentleman. That would be main reason.
We thought that the education there, the standard of education is wider and more standardized, and more system. Like in Thailand, children always have to study hard, but there just half day or 3 o'clock, and after that they have many activities to join and make them feel happy to learn.
In this regard, one of the most cost-efficient and convenient places for an overseas education for Thais is Australia. In its 4th consecutive year, the Complete Education and Touring Australia holds an exhibition for 19 Australian secondary schools to provide insights for parents and potential students in making a decision about studying in Australia.
Not only just academically but culturally, would my child fit into this school? It's information they can't really get off the internet. This event is very successful for families to come through, check out from the schools, meet the personnel from the schools face to face and ask those questions, really, is this school suitable for my child? And each year the event is growing in numbers.
There is a huge difference in the Thai and Australian educational system. As in Australia, teachers have a class of only 20 students, so overseas students can get an extra attention to overcome the difficulty of the English curriculum from their teachers.
The system in Asia is more, it's a different way of studying. You are being fed a lot of information which you process and remember off by heart. In Australia, we teach children to think in a lateral way. We teach our students to think in a bigger perspective. You become more like a student of the world. So you're being taught many things, the arts, the sciences, and the sports. So you're academically very well-rounded. So I think that's one good reason why you should send your child overseas to study. Also, they learn independence, they learn to look after themselves, and they see things differently.
They have a few challenges. I'd say for the Thai families in particular, it's homesickness. But the Thai boys are so supportive of each other. I mean, the first thing they do is take in a new boy and look after him, and to make that transition less stressful. We, of course, because we're a technology high school, we have access on computers so that there's a lot of communication if required with their parents. Everyone's got a phone these days. So that's not as much of an issue as it once was. Adjustment to the timetable, adjustment to our style of teaching. The Australian style, particularly Scots, is very skills-based, independent thinking. You go out and find things. Sometimes that can be a challenge, but all the teachers, we have small class sizes, and all the teachers are there to assist them in each student to find their own skill and to work on their own, not just wait for all the answers.
Not quite convinced by the Australian school staff, TAN Network hears more from students who have studied in Australia about how they adapted to their lives abroad and how they cope with various challenges, from being homesick and staying on track without parents' supervision.
I get to discover new people there, and the curriculum is different. Australia, as you know, it's a pretty sporty country, and so they try to encourage students to play a lot of sports. And I get a lot of friends in this field. So, yeah. At first, homesick is always the problem. But as you get to know a lot of people, you get to know new sort of environment, you get to adapt to it, then it doesn't really become that much of an obstacle after all. So it's just at the beginning, the new transition between being a Thai student and being in an Australian high school.
It's quite different. Like when you go in the first time, sometimes you have like culture shock and homesick and stuff. But then if you're trying, if you try to talk to many people, you talk to your homestay and your friend, try to make friends. Sometimes it's getting better. And yeah, once you can adjust yourself, it's really good experience, and you've grown up a lot from the experience and everything. Yeah. I think it's really up to yourself. It's really up to your choice, because I know that a lot of people, when they are far from their parents, they do whatever they want. But then, I do whatever I want to, but then I choose to do good stuff. So it's really up to like how you can control yourself, and if you know this is right and this is wrong.
All in all, despite the additional expense of tuition and cost of living abroad, parents say it is worth paying, as the end result of studying overseas will open a lot of doors for careers and opportunities for their child. Also, being able to grow up in another country, students can learn to adapt themselves to the diverse cultures, which will benefit their future. For Thai ASEAN News Network, I'm Jerwi Kitisin.